Firstly, I love the driving position. The clutch is very, very naughty. It's gonna wobble loads, isn't it? Actually, the clutch is alright. It's quite noisy. Like when I'm talking, hopefully you guys can hear me alright. I love the pan roof. I've got the heated seats on. That's a must. In cars nowadays, you need to have heated seats. Third gear. Remember when I did the third gear pull in the Honda? Let's do a third gear pull in this. Nah. Okay, so one thing I love is the noise. It's different to the Jap cars. We have more of a high-pitched, well, as for the Hondas, they're a bit more high-pitched. But obviously the Subarus and the Evos are a bit more raw, but this is more of a growl. Third gear again. The steering wheel, I love the flat bottom steering wheel. It looks really nice. The way you grip it, better than a Momo steering wheel. So then again, this is a new car. It's 2014, so you expect it to have all the extras that the Japs don't come with. It's got that adaptive radar as well, where it automatically brakes for you if something comes in front of you. And I remember we imported a Toyota Estima, and this was 1999 model, and it had that in it. So the Japs have been the Japs have actually been bringing this into production a long time ago. Bit slow, Volkswagen. It is very comfortable though to drive, and to know that you've got nearly 600 horses in it. Even the driving, like even the ride height is just right. It's not too bumpy. I think it's on springs, so it's not too bumpy and it's not too harsh, but it'll still tackle corners really well. Second gear, yeah? Ooh. So this is Guy's daily driven car. He does about 3,000 miles in it. Every day! Nah, monthly. For a daily driven car, I think it's fantastic to have. A few years back, I was actually looking at the Golf Rs. I was looking at the Golf Rs and the A45 AMG, but never actually swayed that way and stuck to the Japs. But I wish I had them. The Golfs have actually been known as the rival, the Civic rivals, and I think Civic just now have introduced a worthy match for the Golf R. You know what? There's too many corners, and you don't feel, I wouldn't say safe, but you just don't feel like you can put your foot down around the corners. Well, that's me, because this is the first time driving it. So it's a bit of a straight. It's so easy. It's just so easy to go so fast. So this actually runs a power deck four-wheel drive system, which basically means it's not always four-wheel drive, and when it needs it, like now, it comes into play. Whilst I'm pulling through the gears, let me explain it whilst I do it. It's pulling 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, change, 5, 6, 7, change. It is pulling throughout the rev counter. That's naughty. So the Golf R came with around about 297 brake horsepower with about 280 foot-pounds of torque. So this car is running 560 brake horsepower. I'll show you the dyno sheet for those haters who don't believe me, with about 540 foot-pound of torque. Come on, man, that is crazy. So the standard 0 to 60 times in a stock Golf R, look how tight he's parked. It's about 5.1 seconds. And assuming the amount of power this has it should be around about mid 3 seconds, but it's not been timed. We can do our own time though. So it's still running the standard engine, which is the EA AAA Generation 3. They've been good for around about 550 brake horsepower, so they can handle that much. Nothing's forged yet. So guy went down to MRC and got a custom map done. Got the car dynoed a few times to make sure that the readings were correct, and he's pretty impressed. Well, I'm pretty impressed as well. The gear changes are actually really smooth, and he's upgraded it with a short shifter, so they actually pop in right quite nicely. The burble of the exhaust, that sounds crazy. The crackling, you know something's big is coming down. And no, it's not Guy, it's Guy's Golf R. So this Golf R comes with the dynamic chassis control, which basically is a electronic mode where I could turn it from comfort, normal, race, eco and individual, which is obviously custom to your own needs. And it all takes into consideration the exhaust note, the crackles, the suspension, the ride height, well not the ride height, the stiffening, the dampering. So now it's in comfort, and it's actually, the car is actually much softer. I'm not really feeling the bumps at all now, and the exhaust has gone so quiet. You put it back into race, there you go. So in my opinion, I've actually really enjoyed driving this car, and a bit of me regrets not buying one a few years back. It's very refined, it is very, like, it's tweaked up really nicely. The extras that it comes with, like comparing it to, I don't know, what can we compare it to? Compare it to an Integra or a, no, we need to compare it to something more in the era of it. The C63, okay, because I've driven one of them, it's actually quite similar. And I think for, well, quite a chunk off the price of a C63, you're getting quite a lot for your money. I would definitely recommend one. Would I go from Jap to Vag though? I think I would like to own a Golf R. I would like to own one of these. So that's actually a thumbs up. That's actually quite good for me to say that I'd like to go Vag for a bit. But yeah, for me to go Vag, it has to have 560 brake as well.